For this data set, you will go to File, Open Project. You're going to select Kortek Training 201. Then you will go to T-List, go to Data, hit Set Default. Then you'll go over to Cal and you will select Cal 3. And again, these are all grayed out because that's tubes I didn't include in this data set. So you scroll down. All the tubes in the list are the ones you're going to want to look at. First thing you can do is select the third Cal tube, pull, say OK. Now when you get this message, that just means that the configuration has changed since the previous data that I had loaded. You can just click yes. Then you can go into Setup, go to File, Open. You can pick this K7060 Res Setup, that's me. And then if this box is still open, you can click OK. Then you'll be logged in as X1234. I believe you can just go back into Setup and you can say Save a Copy. So you got X1234, you just say Save, click OK. Now that you've got it set up, you can get your screening parameters the way you like them. I usually put up a mixed channel. Actually, what I really do is I go to Edit Screens, and then I'll put in 3 strip charts, and there's 4 listages already. That's good. I usually put this one to mix, the middle one to the F90, which is channel 3. Then I'll put up channel 6, and then do 1, 3, 5. Mix 1, that's pretty typical setup. And then you'll just toggle the screening button so it's depressed. And now you're ready to pull up your first entry, which will be row 5, tube 12. Eddy current testing of heat exchangers can vary from small, simple components like HVAC units, comfort cooling units, chillers, and they can go all the way up to nuclear steam generators, which are big commercial jobs with the best equipment and all of the automated probe handling equipment like robots, mechanical probe pushers, etc. But a very large amount of heat exchanger inspections involve collecting the data while the probe is inserted and retracted out of the tubes by hand. When you're doing inspections of large components like chillers and steam generators, the best data quality occurs when you use mechanical probe drivers. The benefits of using mechanical probe driver systems is that the recorded data, which is always on the pull when you're using the bobbin coil probe, the pull speed will be consistent. Once you turn on the probe driver and it starts to pull that probe back through the tube, it doesn't stop. You get a consistent pull. And having consistent pull speeds also lends itself to proper auto-locating of the tube support structures. As you can see on the left-hand side of the strip charts, the software automatically located the different structures. When the tubes are properly landmarking, you can go to this button here and you can left click and it takes you to each one of the located structures. That makes it very easy to review the data that supports structures and the tube sheet. Now this data happens to be hand pulled, and now I'm going to show you evidence of bad data resulting from the probe handler, who's a person that's standing next to the tube sheet when they're pulling the probe, and for some reason they stop pulling the probe. Could be because they had an itch they needed to scratch, could be because they needed to sneeze, or maybe they were just subject to fatigue. Because as you can imagine, if you're pulling that probe for hundreds or even thousands of tubes, over the course of 12 hours or maybe a couple of shifts, fatigue can definitely set in, and you can be a victim of dead data spots. Now, in eddy current testing, there are a few types of tests where you don't have to be moving the probe. One good example would be doing a conductivity test. If you have a surface probe and you set it down on the test material, and then you click the button on your tester that says take measurement, the probe doesn't need to be moving. It can be a static type of test. However, when you're testing tubes with an encircling coil, or in this case, an inside bobbin coil probe, in order to find discontinuities, the probe has to be moving. Now here, I can look at the strip charts and easily pick out, because I have a trained eye to spot bad data. Look at the strip chart right about here. See how you got all this fuzz going on down the length of the strip chart? That's normal tube data. You've seen a bunch of probe wobble, there's probably a bunch of scale in there. But when you get to this particular spot, you can look at the expanded strip charts and see it's just dead. That's normal tube data. But when the probe stops moving because the operator quit pulling on the probe, you get a dead spot. Now, if you stop pulling the data and you're right on the edge of a discontinuity, then you start pulling the probe back, you could easily miss a discontinuity in your tube that could eventually lead to a tube leak, and nobody wants that. It's even more evident if I take the middle scroll wheel on my mouse and just expand the strip charts. Now look at how evident that is. It's just a dead spot. This tube was rejected as bad data because of probe motion stopping. There's another spot in that same tube. Let's see. You go a little more. There's another spot right there. That's bad data. There's some more bad data. Probe stop moving. So in this data set that you'll download to your computer, there will be a handful of tubes, and each one of those tubes will have at least one dead spot like this. Some may have more than one, but they'll be pretty easy to spot if you just zoom in on your strip charts and look for these dead spots. Again, this data should be rejected and reacquired. So if you're on a job and there is a separate acquisition team that's collecting the data, and you start to see dead spots like this, then it's time to go over to the data acquisition team and talk to the probe handler, show them examples of this data, and explain that efforts must be made to always keep the probe moving. Otherwise, they're going to be retesting a bunch of tubes unnecessarily. If you can use a mechanical probe driver, if that's in the budget, that is an easy way to prevent this type of bad data.